Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time. It's time. It's Swain Event time.
My man.
It is time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. This is real sports talk for the real sports fan. Talk to him, Swain.
Get into his mouth and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Thank you for making the Swain Event part of your morning. I'm Jason Swain, live in the Low T Center studio, joined by my brother from another mother, Ben McKee, Go Vols 247. We got some things to talk about today, Ben McKee.
Yes, we do.
You ready to roll?
I am. I'm always ready to roll. I'm doing well. I hope you are as well.
Good, man. Good. We got starting quarterback, buddy.
We do. I kind of thought we'd hear something this week. I didn't expect for it to be Sunday night, but I thought it would be this week. I didn't think it would carry over into game week just because it was very, very obvious who the starting quarterback was going to be. The only reason to wait would be to force Syracuse to prepare for a different quarterback. But, I mean, how much tape of Jake Merklinger are they going to need to watch if you were trying to draw it out for that reason?
Yeah, I mean, it hurts you more than it helps you than try to play games and wait it out. Like, it just, as a kid, you were upset at your parents and it was time for dinner, and you'd be like, I don't want to eat. I'm not eating. Okay. You hurting yourself more than you hurting your parents. You the one going to be hungry. And so it's pointless to try to wait until game week to try to throw Syracuse off. You got the better team. You got more talent. Just line up and play, execute. You're going to win by multiple scores. Also, it's important, Ben, keep in mind, I think we need to remind ourselves here as fans, Joey Aguilar came in May. He needs all the time he can get with the number one team. The quarterback competition, you let Merklinger have reps with the ones. You let George have some reps with the ones to determine who's going to be number two between Merklinger and George McIntyre. Joey Aguilar gets reps with the ones. But you have identified your starting quarterback. Joey needs all the reps with the ones. And I mean about 70%, somewhere around there. Because you have to compress some time frames. You have to make up for the spring where Joey didn't have that time with the ones, Ben.
Yeah, it's that simple. And the other simple thought is that Joey Aguilar's been better than Jake Merklinger, despite all the circumstances. And I'd like to hear that Joey begins to make more and more plays this next week or two, because I do think there is a component to Merklinger just did not put his best foot forward, and there's a certain thought that, okay, maybe Joey won by default to a certain extent just because Jake Merklinger is not ready to start football games in the SEC. I think Jake played more poorly than Joey going out there and lighting the world on fire, if that makes sense. So Jake does not need to be the starting quarterback right now. There's that aspect of it as well, and he just did not perform well in either scrimmage, and does not really sound like he did a lot of great things throughout practice in the week and team-on-team stuff. So, and I will cautious people and hopefully remind people in a proper way that Like Jake Merklinger wasn't supposed to be the starting quarterback this season. So just because Jake has maybe struggled these couple of weeks, that doesn't mean that Jake Merklinger is never going to amount to anything as a college quarterback. It's just he's been put in an unfortunate situation. It was a great opportunity, yes, but just because it was a great opportunity does not mean that Jake Merklinger was ready for that opportunity. He was always a quarterback that was going to have to develop over a couple of years, potentially into a third or fourth year in college. That's why Tennessee was able to go out and get Jake Merklinger after Nico Iamaleava. They weren't bringing in Faison Brandon right after Nico. Now, I say that, and somebody could retort me and say, well, they're bringing in Faison after they went and got George McIntyre, and I hear you, but we had several conversations of how they were really going to have to walk a fine line and who their quarterback for that class was after Nico, because your five-star types are not going to be signing up to come to school to follow a Nico, especially a year after, because playing time would have been limited. But just remember that. Just because we haven't heard great things about Jake these first couple of weeks, just remember that he wasn't supposed to be in this position to begin with, and he could still very much be a solid quarterback down the road. We don't know that yet. But just remember that he wasn't supposed to be thrown into this situation. He was always a developmental quarterback who needed a couple of years to reach the point of him being a true starting quarterback in the SEC.
When Nico committed to Tennessee and then Jake Merklinger stayed in the class, I had a lot of respect. I still have a lot of respect for Merklinger, because usually it's one quarterback per class. And Tennessee put all their eggs in the Nico Iamaleava basket. And listen, all hands was on deck to bring him in. I got a lot of respect for Merklinger for coming to Tennessee despite signing their franchise guy. When Nico left, it opened up a huge opportunity for Merklinger to take the job. He leveraged the situation, got himself more money, which is, hey, it's what I would have done. Anyone would have done the same thing. The orange and white game was his moment. That was his Tom Brady moment after Drew Bledsoe got hurt. That was his Dak Prescott moment after Tony Romo went down and got hurt. That was his Hendon Hooker moment when Joe Milton got hurt in 21. Like, that was his moment. The orange and white game. Everyone was looking at him. Everyone had his back. Not saying they don't have his back now, but like, all eyes shifted from Nico to Merklinger. It's on you. And he didn't seize the moment in the orange and white game. So then you bring in Joey Aguilar. While Joey Aguilar is trying to figure out how to get here. How to get here as quick as possible. The school stuff. How to get here as fast as possible, because he's already behind. Merklinger had last season, had the off season, had spring, had summer, had summer, fall camp, and then spring again. Merklinger has had several sessions, several seasons with the advantage. First scrimmage, it was close. I mean, both of them, Joey and Jake, didn't perform in a way that would make me say, wow. George was actually better. Friday scrimmage, it wasn't even close. It just wasn't
between
close.
Joey and the others.
It just wasn't close between Joey and Merklinger. It just wasn't close.
Well, we talked about it on Thursday. We almost wondered if the conversation should be more about who is your backup quarterback than who is your starting quarterback.
Oh, I'm getting there. And so that was Jake's opportunity, man. He had a head start, and he lost it. And now, Ben, it's not a question about whether or not Jake Merklinger needs to be number 2. I have a question on whether he needs to be number 3.
Well, I don't think he's going to have a choice but be number 3.
Well, right now he's not going to be number 3, but here in a couple of weeks, if things continue to go in the direction that it's going, he is going to be number 3.
Oh yeah. But he's not. It sounded like you were wondering if there should be a battle for the number 3 quarterback spot.
No. I mean, there's a battle for the number 2 spot. So
Yes.
I guess it is a battle for the number 3 spot. But the battle is
he and the walk-on are not going to be battling it out for who is number 3 and number 4.
Yeah, like Jake needs to be careful here because he can find himself as a 3rd quarterback. George, all he needs to do is gain some weight, man. That's it. And that's not hard to do.
There's some mental stuff that he needs to take steps forward with as well. He's an inexperienced, true freshman. Like there's that area of the game as well. He had a pick 6 on Friday that was should have been pick 6 that was dropped by Boo Carter. But yes, George is coming quick, fast, and in a hurry, as we have talked about here for several days now.
Yeah. So George gains weight and continues to grow inside the offense. He's going to be the number 2 guy. He won't be the number 2 guy right now because, like, let's say if Joey gets hurt first game of the season, knock on wood, I think Jake will be the 2nd quarterback. But week 4, if something happens to Joey, I don't know if I can say Merkling would be number 2. Like,
yep, I totally agree.
I think that's enough time for George to gain weight and feel more comfortable in the offense and take over the reins. So Jake needs to be careful, and Jake has been given every opportunity, to be the guy, and it just hasn't worked out for him. But like you said, he was brought in off the top to be a developmental guy. But still, you think about that opportunity, Ben. It was there for the taking for him. There for the taking. Amari Jefferson made a good play. I know they posted a video out. Put that
Great
video
throw from
out.
Joey, it seemed.
Yep, it was a corner route from Joey. It was a great ball by Joey. Tennessee's offense really did a good job moving the ball. I'm actually surprised in the success that Tennessee's offense has had running the ball in both scrimmages. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing, but that's the thing with these scrimmages is that if one position or one unit is doing well, that makes you wonder, okay, what about the other unit?
Yeah, no.
Because I also am surprised, exactly what you just said. I am equally surprised. On the flip side of that, I'm surprised that the defense is letting that happen. They have been a little banged up. There's been some veterans defensively that have been held out. I think my concern on defense right now, and it's not a great concern. I'm not concerned about this as I am with the quarterback position or the passing game or the starting center. Where's Tennessee's pass rush going to come from? That to me is a concern.
It's coming.
Well, I mean, they lacked a pass
man.
rush at times last year.
Yeah, they did. They didn't get the guys down. They did a good job of hurting.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And I felt opposing teams were very that they sought out to get the football out as quickly as possible, which is obviously going to hurt your pass rushing numbers. So I do agree with that. But Joshua Josephs, Caleb Herring, Jordan Ross, these guys all have something to prove. It does sound like Jordan Ross has had a good camp up until this point, but they also have a bit of an old school mindset of caring more about stopping the run than they do getting after the quarterback. Or I don't know. I probably shouldn't say it that way, but their initial method is to do whatever it takes to stop the run.
well, that's
So
what
that
you're supposed to do. Period. Like defensively, the first objective is stop the run first.
right. But what I mean when I say that is there are a lot of times where they only have one true pass rusher on the field, and instead of having more of a guy who can pass rush at that opposite strong end defensive end spot, they go with the guy that's better against the run, leaving that one true edge rusher off the edge, which is their Leo position. So That would be my one concern on the defensive side of the ball. And again, I don't know that I'm like greatly concerned about it. It's more of intrigue than a concern.
It's weird. Like
it's weird.
It's weird
Yes.
to see our offense run the ball the way they've ran the ball against the defense. But when you look at the offensive line, the talent, the experience, the strength is going to be the running game this year. It's not like you're playing a bunch of young dudes who are inexperienced. You are playing some new guys in new positions, but Sam Pillington and Wendell Moy, like those are grown men, and David Sanders is a grown man.
Lance Hurd has been awesome.
Yeah, so it's no surprise there. That's how it's supposed to look. Like you got 2 5-stars on the offensive line, and you got a guy that competed on a national runner-up team. It was a starter at one point. So, it's not surprising. Now, to your point about the defensive front and getting to the quarterback, I think we have pass rushers. I just think they could have done a better job last year getting to the quarterback and getting him down. Like, whether it's pass rush lanes, being disciplined, not letting the quarterback get out of jams. Every quarterback has their move of how they escape the pocket, but understanding the scout report and playing to that scout report and not letting a quarterback get out of a hole once you put him in there. Like, we just got to be better about putting the quarterback down, not just forcing hurries. Because, listen, the hurries help you too. The hurries helped us in Oklahoma, picking off Jackson Arnold. But let's get them down. Let's force a fumble. Let's create negative yardage. I like to throw out of bounds. That's cool. But let's turn defense into offense. Let's run the fast break in basketball. Let's not just tip it out of bounds. Let's just not force a turnover on a dead ball, but it's our ball going the other way. Let's get a live ball still and go lay the ball up on the other end. Like, that's what this defense needs to do to help the offense, especially early in the season with Joey Aguilar, not having a lot of time on his belt as a Tennessee quarterback. And then, with the receivers being young and needing to have that time to gel with the quarterback as well, too. So I just think the defense has a lot on their plate early in the season to allow the offense to catch back up. All right, let's get to the phones, Ben. Sounds good?
That sounds good.
All right. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Sounds good. Good morning. Who we speaking with?
Hey, this is Mike from Conyers.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, I remember last season, it was towards the end of the season when I believe it was a Georgia linebacker was quoted as saying that there was when it came to Tennessee's pass rush and just their defensive line in general, there were some tells that they were able to pick up on that allowed them to, they could tell what kind of move they were about to employ or something to that effect. Does that ring a bell? I mean, do you remember that?
I don't remember it. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It wasn't said. I just didn't catch it.
So yeah, it just makes me wonder if that had something to do. I mean, if that's the case, then I'm sure Rodney Garner would have, picked up on that, and I'm sure they'd be working on that. But I do remember that. I just can't remember who the player was. I'm pretty sure it was a Georgia player, a linebacker, I believe, and. Ohio State certainly seemed to, have our number when it came to defeating the pass rush. So, I was just curious about that. I'll just let it go at that. I'm just really enjoying the show, guys.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it, Mike. Thank you for calling. Yeah, I haven't heard that, but I'm sure you look at the film and you check out those one-on-one situations and you scout yourself and know that you could do a better job. Like, I'm sure, because during the week, everybody on the team is scouting the person that's across from them and trying to pick up tendencies. So if I'm a receiver, I'm watching the DB go up against other receivers from the whole entire season and to see how patient he is, what moves he bites on, how does he handle, certain fakes and certain moves, how physical he is. Like at the end of the season, man, there's so much film that is available to help you scout. Early in the season, it's less, it's harder. But late in the season, I mean, 12 games of Tennessee. And think about the staff sizes in college football. Like, their job is to break down the film and chart these tendencies to help players with their scout report. So, yeah, man, it's really intense. It's really thorough, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. All right, I'm going back to the phone, Dan. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Swain and Ben. Mississippi Fall.
Mississippi Vol, what it do? Good morning.
It's going good, man. You guys having a good day. Good morning. I'm glad that we was able to get the starter, Shane and Joey. I think it was a job to lose, and it was personally to win. With that being said, I don't know if you saw the video on Twitter last night. There's this guy breaking down film of our offense, Nico Nash.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Austin, yeah, he does a good job.
Man, I saw that video. I was like,
Yeah,
dang,
I saw it.
We really had the plays, and Nico just bailed out a lot.
I saw it. I would disagree with Brooks a little bit because on one of those play breakdowns, Nico had a clean pocket. The slot option, he wasn't open like that. I mean, like, it's easy to stop the video and go, oh, look, he's open. But there was a linebacker right there in front of him that would have buzzed out and intercept that pass that was closing up that window. And then you had a corner that, on the snap of the football, really just condensed his area to make that window tight. We call it an inverted two. Usually the corner in the cover two has a flat and they get wide, but because Tennessee's splits are so wide, it made no sense for the corner to get wide with the receiver. So the corner just tightened up his alignment on the snap of the football. So now you had a go route on the outside, and you had a safety that could just cover that. So when I saw it, I looked more at the play design. I was like, man, if you had a better play design, that would have been a successful play. When we played Florida in 2003, they played an inverted two. We called it two trap. And the way we beat two trap was we ran digs right behind that corner that all he did was just go inside. I was the outside receiver, and I had like 3-4 catches in that game against Florida in 03. I was leading the receiver, and the coverage looked the same. That was a great game plan by Ohio State's defense, and we just didn't do a really good job, in my opinion, with our play design. So I think it's easy to bash on Nico. He wasn't, good as he needed to be. Don't get me wrong. But when I watched that particular clip from Brooks breaking down Nico, I disagreed with him. I don't disagree with him all the time, but I disagree with him there. I also point out my man Brooks, he picked Tennessee to win because of Nico, because of what he thought Tennessee would do offensively. Now, he was wrong, and ain't nothing to be ashamed about being wrong there, but I didn't agree with his assessment of that play because I didn't think that Nico had a lot of great options.
So what I got from it was, I saw the same thing you saw. If he would have got to the outside receiver on the go route a little faster, he probably could have squeezed it in a little earlier. But I just go back and go out in those clean pockets. And I'm hoping Joey can sit in the pocket and just go through his reads a whole lot faster. But other than that, that's all I say. I agree with you, but I'll hang up to the rest of the show.
Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, like, the quarterback is doing what the coaches are telling them to do. And if the design doesn't allow the receiver to make adjustments or to read on the run or have a option route, and like it's easy to say, okay, man, you should have did this, you should have did that. Well, the receiver wasn't told to do that. If you would have done this, man, you would have been open. Well, the receiver wasn't told to do that. If you would have broke it this way, well, the receiver wasn't told to do that. So it's easy just to hit pause or hit stop and go, look, man, he's open. If you would have did this, he would have been open. The receiver was told not to do that. He was told to run this particular route. And if he's covered, that means the defense did a better job of scheming than the offense. That's why it was needed for Josh Heupel and company to change some passing concepts and to do some things differently. That's why it was needed. Because no way should Ohio State been able to cover us with one dude against two. Because that's what it essentially was. I know it's easy to bash on Nico, though.
Well, there's no doubt that Nico missed several throws last year that
100%.
Tennessee hits the scores of those games look differently, and maybe we are not wondering where did the Josh Heupel offense from the first 2 years go if Nico hits on a couple of those plays. I'll tell you who never misses. That's Jennifer Morris of Keller Williams Realty. She's just listed several homes over the last week and a half. She's been out and about showing off these homes, and Swain Event listeners, they're on the hunt. Previous Swain Event listeners have been on the hunt, and so if you're a new Swain Event listener looking for a home in the Knoxville area, you need to reach out to Jennifer Morris because she's got all the goods and can help hook you up. You just need to give her a call, and she's also barely hanging on, she says, but she probably didn't want me to share that part. But I won't say how old she is turning tomorrow, but instead I'll just say happy birthday, Jennifer. And for all those who are looking to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish in real estate, they need to reach out to Jennifer and wish her a happy birthday in the process.
I thought she was talking about she's barely hanging on because the White Sox beat up on the Braves last night.
Oof. Well, I think the Braves fans they've checked out of this baseball season, and I don't quite blame them.
Well, it seems like the players did too, losing to the White Sox. How you lose to the White Sox?
That's tough.
You can't lose to the White Sox.
I can't say much. My team is hanging on by a thread, but at least we'll be in the playoffs. At least I hope. I guess I don't know for sure, but what's that?
Lose to the White Sox?
No, my Yankees, we're hanging on by a thread, but we've got a soft schedule to end the season, which should help us get in the playoffs.
You probably play the White Sox then if you got a soft schedule.
We do play the White Sox, yes, at some point in the next month and a half.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Yeah, play design has to be better this year, and that's something that Tennessee has worked on. Tennessee plans to implement. So, and there were so many times when we'll watch the game and go, why are we not open, man? Why are we not open? Some of it is receivers not create separation. Some of it is that you're running routes right into the defense, right to the strength of the defense. The defenses in the last 2 years kind of caught up with Tennessee. And it was time for Josh Heupel to make some adjustments. And that's what they plan to do this year. So sometimes it's never just one thing. Sometimes it's a combination of things. Quarterback play, offensive line, receivers not creating separation, play call not being right, play design not being where it needs to be. Because play call and play design are two different things. You can have the right play design, but call the wrong play. You can call the right play, but the play design needs to be adjusted to allow a guy to be able to get open better. And so that was something that Tennessee needed to fix in the lab. 865-255-03. I hope that makes sense, Ben. I'm trying to make it.
It did.
Okay.
No, it did. The very simple answer to the Josh Heupel offensive question is that last year everybody took their turn. Nico took his turn. Pass protection, if I can speak, took its turn. Receivers took their turn. Play calling took its turn. Like everybody had a hand in what went wrong last year, and it needs to collectively get cleaned up.
That's the plan. That's the goal. 865-255-03. Ben McKee, GoVols 247. Jason Swain here with you. Live in the Low T Center studio. Stay with us. Be right back.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Guys, don't live with tiredness or low energy. Get your life back with low testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Knoxville's leading experts in men's health. Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. Fixmylowt.com. When you are craving some quality barbecue, there's only one place to go. Dead End Barbecue. Dead End Barbecue has been featured on ESPN's Taste of the Town, the first barbecue restaurant on the SEC Network, CBS Sports, Headline News Tailgate Show, Amazon Prime's The Restaurant Comeback, Food Paradise, and named one of the top 100 barbecue restaurants in America. The search is over. Dead End Barbecue is located on 3621 Sutherland Avenue right here in Knoxville. You can even have it delivered right to your door through Chow Now. Visit their website at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis.
What's up, Swain Event crew? Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. Fall sports can be a roller coaster ride for us fans. The excitement, drama, and passion will make us crazy sometimes. I can't manage the games, but I can help you manage your real estate needs while you're cheering on the Vols. Reach out at 865-694-5904 or contact me at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Thank you for making the Swain Event part of your morning. Starting quarterback named for Tennessee. A couple quarterbacks around the country was named yesterday. Today's a big day for Tennessee football, potentially, because it is commitment day for five-star running back Savion Hyder. Speaking between Tennessee and Michigan. Tennessee's big Adidas deal announced last week. Could that make a difference? Could that make a difference today? We will see. I know committed players from Tennessee have been trying to recruit Hyder. Will that make a difference? We will see. I know we're going to find out here soon. We're going to find out soon. I mean, it's closer to Knoxville. Darrell Sims. I know I would want to play for Darrell Sims. In the few times I've talked to him, he would be really easy to get along with. I think he's one of the coolest dudes on the staff. Hyder's going to be an early enrollee, so he won't be a normal freshman. Talent alone will point to him not being a normal freshman, but the fact that he will be an early enrollee will give him a little bit of a head start. He will be committing at 11:15. Which is perfect because just in time for us to talk about on Josh and Swain today. Thank you, Hyder. We appreciate that. Taking a look at the Beatty Chevrolet text box this morning, you can access that on your Swain Event app for Apple devices. DZ Milwaukee, Brewers, and Jays in the World Series. Okay, we'll see. If we can't get both recruits, who would you rather have, Keys or Hyder? Chip, you must ain't you must have splashed cold water on your face this morning, Chip. Chip, you must have been out in Atlanta last night. You probably didn't get enough sleep, Chip. Chip, was you out in the clubs last night, Chip? You know that answer, Chip. Tennessee has put in multiple running backs in the NFL. Last year, Tennessee had a 3-star running back win SEC Player of the Year. Jalen Wright was a 3-star coming in. Was just a track guy. And was one of the best backs in the country. So we have proven what we could do at running back here at Tennessee inside of this offense. You need receivers more than anything. I know why you asked the question, because we haven't had a 5-star running back yet commit, just like we haven't had that 5-star corner commit. And so you want to check him off the list. Well, we haven't had one. We've had a quarterback, we've had offensive line, we've had D-line, but we haven't had that 5-star running back, and I want that. That's probably why you said that. Which, hey, I get it. But we've had so much success with lower rated running backs. We need receivers. Dudes who can go and get it. This offense does not need a 5-star running back. You want one, but you don't need one. Brown Hunsucker says you can't deny that Nico's footwork was trash while having a clean pocket on that play. Yeah, he was happy feet, man. He got happy feet. But again, like, it's easy to say that, but you sitting in that pocket and you know you don't have time, and this is why Merklinger has had problems this fall camp. It's the processing. You have to look at the defense pre-snap, have a picture, have an idea of where you may go with the football. When the ball snaps, that picture may change. And where you thought you were going is not where you're going anymore, because the defense has disguised the coverage or the look. So you got 2.5 seconds to process while getting your footwork together and delivering an accurate football, so that way your pass catcher can catch it and do something with it. So playing quarterback is hard. And if you in the pocket and your number one guy's covered and your number two guy, you can't make that throw to the number two guy. You can't make that throw. That ball's getting picked off probably. Now, you could try to throw it up high and create a jump ball situation, but, like, Ohio State just schemed us up. And I'm sure Nico saw that and was like, yo, and freaked out because he didn't see that look before. It wasn't open. And he knew he didn't have time. So I'm just saying, look at it from the quarterback's point of view. Trust me, these were conversations that we used to have in our meeting room with wide receivers, because we used to be mad. Like, damn, man, why the quarterback didn't throw us the ball? I was open. Pat Washington, receiver coach, used to walk us through it. Go, guys, y'all don't understand. And Pat Washington played quarterback at Auburn, played with Bo Jackson. So he was speaking to us from a quarterback's perspective and would explain, hey, man, this is what the quarterback is going through. So let's give him a little bit of grace when grace is called for. But there are some other times when you're like, yo, what the hell is the quarterback doing? Throw the ball. On that particular play, I'm giving Nico some grace. The play designs could be better from last year. and you were dealing with the number one team in the country. I don't have a gut feeling on Savion Hyder today because kudos to that family. They did a great job of owning the recruiting process. I know it sucks for everybody who follows it because everyone has a job to do, and it's good to know what's going on so you can put it in your crystal ball or whatever. But like, if I'm Savion Hyder today, like I would do it the same way. I'm going to enjoy the process, but I'm going to have some privacy. I'm going to have some privacy. Mm-hmm. And so I don't have a gut feeling. I can see him going either way. I'm trying not to be biased here, but I think Tennessee's a better place for him. But I don't know exactly what he's looking for. Vaughn and Charlotte combine a dig with a deep over, create confusion, and automatic stop steps. Yeah, that sounds good. But we were playing Ohio State's defense. You didn't have a lot of time. If that's something they want to do this year, cool. But you got to have time to do it. Got to have time. When you were playing ball at Tennessee, I could only imagine the pressure on a player when that stadium is packed full of fans. Did you ever get distracted during the game by looking around and realizing how big of a stage you were on? Nope. No, sir. No, sir. Not once. Not once. On away games, like you would think, oh, it's so loud you can't hear. I'm a receiver. I don't need to hear anyways. I don't need to hear what's going on. I can't hear. So you had hand signals. Now you get those signals from the sideline. So no. When you are practicing for an away game, the speakers and the music and the crowd noise is so loud at practice that you're used to it when you play on the road during the games. So no, I was never distracted. John K. in South Carolina. Poor Mississippi Vol. Every time he calls in, it reminds me that the state of Mississippi is still on dial-up. Leave him alone. Last week when Mississippi Vol called, his phone was clear. There's Gray. That's Tennessee's moved on there. Looks like he's moved on. Not aware of Austin Price going to the commitment. GBO Rilla says Danny White has raised season ticket prices again, signed with Adidas. I'm an AD White believer, but I believe these moves have gotten us out of the honeymoon phase as fans. Now you better win. Do you think the coaches, specifically basketball, were asked their opinions on the Adidas deal? Please keep Rick here around for 4 or 5 years. I'm sure Danny talked to his coaches about it. As far as ticket prices, I hate the fact that the same type of fans that used to go to the games are not the same type of fans that can go to the games now. Meaning from a monetary standpoint. Like, I hate the fact that there are some fans who are priced out. I hate that. But how can I fault Danny White for doing his job? His job is to raise money. His job is to build a strong reserve of cash to be able to be aggressive with NIL, with this new landscape, to have the best facilities. Like, it's an arms race. It takes money to be able to compete. What are we asking Danny White to do? Are we asking Danny White to leave money on the table? To not make money? Because then we'll be complaining about how we're a poverty program and we're getting outbidded and like, this is a lose-lose situation for Danny White. Folks are going to be complaining on both sides of the aisle here. If you don't get the money, you don't upgrade your facilities, which desperately needs upgrading. Like, I know how we feel about Neyland Stadium, and, you know, it's the mecca of college football in some of our eyes. But parts of Neyland Stadium is raggedy, folks. It's raggedy. Some of it is raggedy. We got to fix it. Tennessee Baseball Stadium was broke down, busted, and disgusted until Tony Vitello came here and we started fixing stuff. The players got to be paid. You're competing with teams that got oil money. Like, I mean, I'm even affected. I don't get tickets like I used to for my family. I know I'm working, but I'm not watching the game like y'all watching the game. I'm working. I'm not sitting there enjoying it, drinking a Coke or a beer, or some popcorn, a hot dog. I ain't really watching it like that. I'm working. And I used to be able to take my family to games, get them tickets. They sat home more last year than ever. So I'm affected too. But I understand the competition that's going on and how Tennessee needs to recruit better. Like, we're not winning more if we don't recruit better. Do we understand that? It's not happening. If you don't get better players, last year was the ceiling. So it's tough. It's tough. I get it. I understand. But the stadium is full. The arena is full. We know the concept of supply and demand. Every walk of life is affected. Everything is higher. It ain't just ticket prices. Everything is higher. Everything. (931) Vault, did you ever get a chance to meet Reggie White? I know he passed in 2004. Reggie White spoke to us before a football game in Atlanta, right before the Chick-fil-A Bowl. So I didn't personally get a chance to meet him, but I was in his presence. QC Rodney says, I took another look at the schedule last night. I tried to talk myself down, but it looks very favorable. What's the recipe to get 10 wins? The schedule is favorable. It's the same schedule from last year, except for you dropping some non-conference games. But like it's basically the same, and it's very favorable. But the recipe is you got to beat 2 out of the 4. Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma. And you can't lose to a team you're not supposed to lose to. That's the recipe. You can't be losing to Arkansas. Can't be messing around with Mississippi State. You better not lose to Kentucky or Vanderbilt. You got to beat Syracuse, game 1. and you got to win 2 out of 4 against the other 4. I think that's the recipe. But in terms of X's and O's, you got to stay healthy. You got to run the football. Special teams got to be better than last year. You need more explosive plays. You can't have 3-4 halves of football where you don't score. Like, that's not going to work. You know, Tennessee was fortunate enough at home to create turnovers against Florida because you lose that game in the other situation. So offensively, we got to be better in the red zone. That's where we hurt the most. In the red zone. Got to be better with penalties. Can't be leading the league in penalties. Those are a couple of things. Kim Tennessee Vol says, don't you think you were built different from the crowd noise perspective? Your inner voice is so strong. Noise that may have few weaker minds may break or get distracted. No, because they're prepared for it. Like when Tennessee plays on the road, every day of practice on the practice field, all practice, it is crowd noise. So you're prepared for it. Now, I can't speak to players playing in Neyland Stadium because when I was on offense, it was quiet on offense in Neyland Stadium. I've played in a few loud stadiums, but not like Neyland Stadium. Auburn was loud in 03. Alabama was loud in 03. 05 was loud. Florida was loud, but not as loud as Auburn. South Carolina is loud. But when you prepare for it, it's not what you think it is. It wasn't a big deal. I've never heard someone go, man, I couldn't focus, man. I couldn't think, man. I mean, it was so loud on the road. I've never heard anybody say that. Which player do you think stands out more between Gibson and Hood? Ricky Gibson, Colton Hood. Man, that's a good one. Probably Hood right now. Because I think they'll go with him because he's new. He'll have opportunity. Do they practice the crowd noise when we play at Vanderbilt? I don't remember. I don't remember if we did or not. I really don't. Oh, man. Yeah, I do not remember. I don't remember Vandy Week. I'm sorry. Except for like the last tackle. The senior tradition, but I don't remember anything else about Vandy Week. Back to the text box. Yeah, like think about the tickets, man. I see everyone complaining, but everything is more expensive. And the concept of price demand like that, I mean, cost, supply and demand, I mean, and there's thousands of people on the wait list. So, I mean, what do you want Danny White to do? Like, honestly and realistically. Like, removing your feelings and just looking at it objectively. Because the ticket prices are affecting your ability to go to the games. And so, of course, you want the ticket prices to be more affordable for you. I get it. I have been affected myself. I get that part. But if you are Danny White, what would you do? You got thousands of people on the waiting list. The athletic program is the most successful it's ever been. Your job is to raise money. Like your job is to help Josh Heupel as much as possible win football games by giving him the resources. Like, I'm almost embarrassed for the ADs that looked at the baseball stadium after all these years and was like, oh, it's okay. After hiring a baseball coach, and you allow that baseball coach to coach in that cracker box of a stadium all these years and expect him to be successful. Baseball coaches were set up to fail. No different than Vanderbilt Stadium. Like, you gonna hire a football coach and let him coach in that raggedy, small stadium for all these years, knowing what the competition is doing out here. And kudos to Vandy, they're finally showing pride with their football program. They're finally taking it serious. They're paying NIL. They've upgraded their stadium. Finally. Like, when you hire a coach, you got to give him the resources to be successful. I feel like Dana White's doing that. So are we asking Dana White to leave money on the table? Are we asking Dana White to not try to earn as much money as possible for the program to be able to do the things we need to do to win at the highest level? We got multiple sports. They're trying to win. This is part of being an everything school. You want to sacrifice a sport so ticket prices can be low in football? I mean, I don't know. But I'm just thinking about this, using some common sense here, and trying to be reasonable here instead of just yelling. Just yelling and being loud. The truth is, Dana White's the best AD we've ever had, probably. I saw one message was like, the honeymoon phase is over. What that supposed to mean? Did he do something wrong? Did he drop the ball somewhere? Because of ticket prices? That's what makes the honeymoon phase over? Because ticket prices? Not botching a hire? we winning at the highest of levels outside of winning a national championship. But the honeymoon phase is over because the price is too high? I'm sorry, man. I can't go there with you. And listen, I don't agree with every move Danny has made, but he ain't missed much. I'm not a fan of the great alternate uniforms this year. I did not like them. But I'm not gonna sit here and say, man, Danny, is whew. Honeymoon phase is over, Danny. Because I don't like those pants. Hey, man. AD's job is to raise money, win games, hire good coaches. He's doing that. And it sucks that everything is expensive and the costs have went up. It sucks. I want my kids to go to all the games and experience Tennessee the same way I hear a lot of our listeners and fans, how they became fans. I want that for my kids. That's what I wanted. But again, everything is more expensive. Anything that says, Danny White's been here 5 years. The honeymoon phase ended a while ago. He's proven to be good. It's not because of a honeymoon phase. Like, he was voted the best AD in the country. And we mad at him because of ticket prices? Question, what would you do? I still ain't heard nobody say what they would do. No one has said, yeah, demand is high. I I would sell them cheap and leave millions of dollars on the table so other schools can have more money and more resources and get better players than us and pay their coaches more than us and have better facilities than us. No one has said that. Because deep down you know you wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Nobody would do that. I wish prices was cheaper. I do. And I remember some conversations we've had here in the last 15 years that folks were like, man, I don't mind paying more if we just win. We win, I'll pay more, whatever. Well, here we are. We winning. we winning. May not be as much as you want them to win in the sport that you like, because some folks can care less about basketball. All they care about is football, and you want them to win more. Some folks are like, wait a minute, we're getting all this money from Adidas. You better get every recruit. You better win all the games now because you're going to be a top 3-5 team in apparel deals. You only care about football. And I will reiterate, I hate that fans are priced out. And I don't like the fact that because there's a certain segment of the fan base that have a lot of money that can get these tickets, I don't like when I look up and the stadium ain't as loud as it need to be. I don't like looking up and half the section is empty. I don't like that. This year in baseball, we get this nice, stadium with the additions. More additions are on the way. And you watch the game on TV, and the section behind home plate, half of it's empty. I don't like that. I think it's a bad look. I think something need to be done about it. I think we need to get on the phone and talk to the people who own them tickets. Say, hey, man, how can we help each other? You paid for the tickets. They're your tickets. It's your right to do whatever you want to do with them. But how about we communicate so that way we have butts in the seats? It's a bad look when they're not being used. I don't like looking at the basketball game and seeing empty seats where the big money people sit. I don't like seeing that. So I get it. If you're someone that's like, man, I'm trying to get these tickets and I can't because I can't afford them, but here are these seats wide open from people that can afford them and then they choose not to go. I understand how you feel. I would be pissed off about it too. But trying to rip on Danny White because the ticket prices are high, I don't know if that's the answer. I mean, dude's doing his job. Like, dude's doing his job better than anybody in the country right now. I don't think ripping on Danny is the answer, guys. I don't know about that one. Nah, I can't. Sometimes you got to point your frustration somewhere to someone. I'm not pointing to Danny White. I need to get my money up. That's what I need to do. I need to make me some more money. If I want to take my family to the game, I'm not about to get on Danny White about it. I'm about to make me some more money. I got to find me another stream of income. That's what I got to do. I'm wasting my energy trying to get on Danny White when literally every walk of life, every phase, there's increased prices. Maybe y'all should look into some other places of why prices are increased. Instead of trying to blame Danny White for it. Maybe you should look in some other areas. I'm not carrying water for Danny White. I'm just saying. What would you do if you was in his shoes? And your job was to win and build reserves. Memphis Vols, the answer is simple. If you don't like the prices, don't pay them. Get off the season ticket waiting list and watch from home with family. Either drop or be a net neutral until higher class fans get bored or quit going. I just don't think complaining about it on social media is going to do anything. Colin Smyrna says, I guess the question is, how much do you value true fans being in seats? Sure, they can make more, but as I've heard you say in the past, not all money is good money. A fan paying you money for tickets is good money. Yeah, that's good money right there. I would not relate those two. When I mean by all money, not good money, I mean like money that you obtained illegally. That's what I would refer to, or being paid to be a Georgia fan or pretend like I was a Georgia fan like that. I mean, I'm talking about that, but like if you're Danny White, you're gonna tell a person no? Come on, y'all. Come on, man. You're gonna tell a Tennessee fan no. They want to pay you a certain amount because you want to sell it at a lower price to a different set of fans. Come on, man. Y'all know that ain't realistic. Y'all know that's not realistic. Slim85 says, I think folks are confusing the resale price with the actual price donors are paying. I have 8 tickets that I pay $6,000 for. With the backlog of folks looking for tickets, I refuse to let them go at that price because of the third-party price. Granted, I don't sell mine as I have friends who use 4 of them, and my brother uses 2. The resale price is outrageous, but the donor price isn't too bad. Kyle Smyrna says he's telling Tennessee fans no. The ones that want to go and don't make 6 figures. Kyle, he's not telling Tennessee fans no. The tickets are sold out. There's thousands of people on the waiting list. Who is he telling people no to? The market suggests we need to increase the prices of the tickets. You either can afford it or not. You either want to pay for them or you don't. Danny White's not sitting in his office saying, hey, I'm going to tell these Tennessee fans no. Kyle, come on, man. Come on, Kyle. That don't even make sense. Danny White's telling Tennessee fans no. I get it, man. Inflation has affected us all in all walks of life. But pointing the finger at Danny White when he is doing what he has to do to keep Tennessee competitive. Sorry, man. I'm not on that train. And I'm affected the same way. Some people like to complain. The same people complain about the price increase will be the same people that will complain if we start losing again. Yep, pretty much. So either pay them or don't. I'm not saying that to say I'm, insensitive. I'm affected myself. I'm very sensitive to the fact that people are being affected. But what I like to do is what I always do is I put myself in another person's shoes and look at it from both sides. Tennessee is not going to win football games unless they have lots of money. Let's just make that simple. Let's make it simple. You got to have more money than you ever had before to compete and win football games. You got to have money. Chip Payne, I have 2 season tickets, and yes, the price increase stinks, but everything has gone up. This year I sold a lot of my tickets, and I made money, and we'll go to a couple of games free. Admission free. Yeah, just, hey man, do you. If you want to go, go. If you can't, don't. If you can't afford, make more money. But complaining Danny White ain't the answer, because the prices ain't coming down because you complaining. I just think it's a waste of energy. Like my first reaction when I heard about the ticket prices, because I wanted my family to go while I work, and then not just sit at home and watch the game on TV. My first reaction wasn't to complain about the ticket prices. My first reaction was, yo, how can I make more money to be able to pay for tickets? I suggest doing the same. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that trying to be as sensitive as I possibly can. Who is wearing the green dot? Defense, linebacker. That's a good question. I know T-Lander has worn it. He came in and filled in for golly, my guy last year got hurt. I forgot his name already. Kenny Peely. He wore it when he replaced Peely. I'm not sure who's going to wear it. That's a really good question, though. I mean, if T-Lander wore it last year, why change? The question is, T-Lander and Arion Carter, are they going to be able to hold off the competition behind them? So whoever has the green dot, are they going to hold off the competition? That's kind of my biggest question. Kyle says, I'm not anti-Danny White. He thinks Danny White's doing a great job. Just frustrated that we have a top 5 average ticket price cost in the country. Well, Tennessee has the best athletic program in the country, too. I mean, you see what I'm talking about? You see how it goes? You paying the most, but you're also winning the most. I'm going to the phones before we wrap up today's show. Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, Swain?
What's up?
Not much, brother. Hey, this is Caleb. The thing is that's so perplexing to me. I've been listening to this show for 10, 15 years. Man, there was a time when we would have given anything to just win 10 ball games. To say that Danny White has completely changed not just the football program, but every other program around it. I don't love the process either, but at the same time, it takes money to make money. You know what I mean? If we want to be competitive, we got to stay at that level, man. And the Adidas thing, I've all weekend long, I like Nike too. But if Nike don't want my school, then I don't want Nike. I'm a Tennessee fan. You know what I mean? Like when I called a couple years ago, and I said, I got uncles and I got my dad and I got people that are buried in those Tennessee jerseys. It didn't matter if there was a Nike check on it or an Adidas check on it. It was the Power T, bro. It's the Power T. That's all that I care about. I don't care what is best for my school. I'm loyal to Tennessee, not to the players. I'm loyal to my football team, to Tennessee. It's about the orange. You know what I mean? And I'm with you, Swain. I hate those smoky grays. And I'm a Navy vet, bro. I'm all about trying to, show whatever for the country. But, bro, I could care less about what apparel company, if Adidas wants to come in and make us the flagship, we should be like taking that with some big pride. Because you said something the other day, like, bro, they did that for us, not Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got to look at this like from a logical standpoint. Like, I don't understand where people are getting off. Oh, well, we gotta have this. We gotta have, bro. Like, Daddy was doing it, bro. Like, Adidas is the way to go for us. Like, they wanted us more. Like if you were going, you know, like I'm married, right? But like if my wife was like, hey, I'm gonna talk to other people and stuff, I ain't gonna be cool with that, bro. Like, I'm your one and only. You know what I mean? Like, that's how, if Adidas wants to put you there as the flagship, then take pride with it and go with Adidas. I don't care if you wear Nike on everything else, but I'm gonna tell you this: I ain't gonna look at Nike the same. Because if you ain't even gonna counter offer and try to keep us.
No.
Like, to me, like, bro, like, to me, Tennessee, like, I live for this. Like, this is what I live for. Like I said, I got family members buried in them jerseys. I want to be buried in that jersey. You see what I'm like? For me, it's more than that. You know, we can't sit here and say, oh, I'll give everything if Tennessee could just win, and then we don't support how we get there. Like you got to go through growing pains, man. You may not love every decision that's made. I don't love every single decision, but I want what's best for my school. And do I think Danny White and Josh Heupel and these guys are doing what's best for the school? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's like, and I've heard people talk about this whole Nico thing over the last couple of days. Hey, man, wish the kid all the best, but he ain't here. You ain't a Tennessee Vol. I don't care. Like, I don't care what you do at UCLA. I mean, I'm a Tennessee fan. You know what I mean? Like, Swain, I just can't understand the thought process of some of this fan base, man. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm 34 years old. I could care less about an apparel company. I want to know what's best for my school, man. Like, that's the only thing that matters. And the only question I got, and I hang up, the only question I got, man, I was going to ask you about the receivers because, you know, I'm a little nervous about that. You know, I know we got some guys coming back, but I'm a little nervous about it. And then I wanted you to just kind of give me like a realistic, what should my expectations be, man? Because like I said, I live and die with this team. And I appreciate, you know, you letting me go on that little rant, man. I know it took a minute, but it's just annoying to me that people just don't love. Like, if you really love this university, you really love Tennessee, don't talk about it, be about it. Support what we doing. You know what I mean? And I'll hang up.
Hey, thank you, Caleb, man. Appreciate the passion. I think there's people who love Tennessee that feel the same way you feel about being buried in the orange, but they want to watch. Like, they want to be able to afford it. They want and it's okay to feel both emotions. 100%, it really is. But pointing the finger at Danny White and trying to make him the villain when he's doing his job better than anybody else in the country, I can't get on board with you on that one. It stinks that everything costs more. It stinks. But there's things that are affecting us in our lives every single day where prices of goods are more. And I wonder if you out here pointing the finger at other people too. And maybe you don't care as much as you care about Tennessee football. I don't know, but just understand, like, everything is more expensive. But the thing about the Adidas, like, I'm around folks over there in that program. I know how much they take pride in the last couple of years, rocking Jordans, rocking Nikes. Like, yo, them folks over there, they rock some Nikes now. They take pride in it. They're humans just like you who love Nike. But business is business. You have to do what's best. You have to do what's best. You got to be a grown-up. What you want is not the same as what you need. What Tennessee needs is an apparel company to respect the brand. And Adidas, they do. 865-255-03. Oh, Huntsucker, I wasn't going to stop Caleb from cooking. Talking about some Swain, hold up, let Caleb cook. Man, I turned my mic off. I ain't got nothing to say. Caleb doing his thing. Rodney says he is making too much sense, LOL. Tremel says mic drop. A lot of folks agree with Caleb. Danny White, keep doing your thing, man. The alumni base has never been more reunited. Former players. Never more than now. We got a top 3, top 5 apparel deal in the nation. We're winning as an athletic program more than anybody else. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not about to be complaining. And the fact that I don't like the smoky gray uniforms is not about to overcloud all the great stuff that's going on. And I mean great. Great stuff that's going on. (865-255-03) is our telephone number. Always here on the Swain Event. Game week is upon us. Talking like 2 days. It's time to start talking about Syracuse. Prepping for Syracuse. We around the corner, y'all. We got week 0 this weekend. So we get college football this weekend. It's on. Hope everyone has a blessed rest of your day. Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Big thanks to Ben McKee for joining us. When he had to run for an engagement, and we'll do it again on Thursday. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for the interaction. Caleb, great stuff by you. All the phone calls, all the text messages. Peace and love. We out.